For today's video, I will make my midterm, which is lead sequencer using 12 LEDs. And it shows in 4 patterns. So without further ado, let's start. Components involve Arduino, breadboard, resistor, LED, and jumper wires. So again, in making this, you go first to Google and search tinkercad.com. After that, compile all the components needed. So we are using 12 LEDs, 12 resistors, which is 100 ohms. So I did not explain it further because I finished it in my previous video. In connection, it doesn't matter, like for example, the lead one, you connect it in the Arduino, which is 12, it's okay, but all I can say is it depends on your code in order for you to have an output, or in order for the lead will display. So it depends on your codings. Okay, so I'm done in my connection. So now I will make a code for this in order to display the output. So actually I have already my code in the notepad, and I will copy and paste it here directly to make my work faster and easier. So the first thing to do is I will show first, which is the first pattern. So in the first pattern, the lead 1, the lead 12 will display first, then proceed to the lead 11 and until 1. So that's my code in the pattern 1. The digital write 12 high, which means the lead 12 will display, then delay in 500, digital write 12 low, which means turn off. So proceed to the lead 11. So when the lead 12 will turn on, then we will wait until 500 milliseconds, then it will turn off, then the lead 11 will display, so and until 1. So that's my code. So let's start simulation to see the output. So as you can see, the lead 12 will display first, then until 1. So now let's move on to the pattern 2. So we'll go to the notepad and I will copy my code and the second pattern. So in the second pattern, reverse of the pattern 1. So it means the lead 1 will show first or turn on first, then proceed to the lead 2, 3, 4, 5 until 12. So that's my code in the pattern 2. So again, it will delay in 500. Then, so in pattern 2, the lead 1 will display first until 12. So that's my code. So let's try again. Start simulation to see if it is correct. So actually the lead 12 will display, which is the pattern 1. Then, oh yes, the lead 1 will display in the pattern 2, as you noticed. And now let's moving on in pattern 3. So I almost done. This is the most awaited part. So in the third pattern, so I will copy my third pattern. So that's my code in the third pattern. So in the third pattern, so the digital write 1 high and together with 12 high, which means the 1 and 12 lead will turn on together, and then the 2 and 11 will turn on together again. Then the lead 3 and 10 will follow, 4 and 9, 5 and 8, 6 and 7. So that's it. So that is my code and pattern 3. So let's start simulation again. Let's see if my pattern 3 will working. So that's pattern 1. Then pattern 2. So the third pattern. So as you can see, the 1 and 12 lead will display together. So now let's moving on the last pattern, which is the fourth pattern. So again, I will go to the notepad and I will copy my code in the fourth pattern. So I almost done. I'm in the fourth pattern right now. So I'm so excited to see all my output that is working correctly. Chart. So in the fourth pattern, the lead 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 until 12, it will turn on together. So as you can see in my code here, so the digital write until 12 high, so it will turn on together. Then delay until 500, so digital write 1 until 12 low, so which means when the lead 1 and 12 will turn on together, then we will wait until 500 milliseconds, then it will turn off together also until 1 and 12. So I'm done in my code. So let's start simulation again. Let's see if my pattern 4 will working. So that's the second pattern, as you can see. Then followed by the third pattern. Then the fourth. So as you can see, in the fourth pattern, the lead 1 until lead 12, it will display together. Then we will wait until 500 milliseconds because, as what I've said earlier, my delay is 500. So then the lead 1 until 12 will turn off together. Okay, so that's my output